what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about this young Dolph situation, man. And it's not really a young Dolph situation per se. What's really going on out here is you just had one of the biggest artists in Memphis, brother, and an executive to one of the biggest labels, if not the biggest labels in Memphis, Tennessee, actually get shot in broad daylight and lost his life. Now, by now, everybody's familiar about the shooting of Big Jook. Now, Big Jook is the brother of Yo Gotti. He's been the subject of ridicule from young Dolph in several songs that he's dropped. He's been a person that's heavily been out there and speculated in the shooting death of young Dolph. But man, it's been a weird situation when he tragically lost his life just a few days ago. Now, what's even wilder about the situation is how puzzled people are that young Dolph's people are allegedly out here spinning for him still. And there's just a couple of things I want to cover about this situation. The first fact being this: young Dolph and most of PRE have some sort of relation, like they're cousins. There's people who are related to each other. I think like even Key Glock and Dolph are like cousins in some way or something like that. A lot of the other cats like Jay Fizzle are first cousins with young Dolph. So it only makes sense that in a situation like that, imagine this. Okay, let's paint the picture. Your cousin is also one of your main homeboys. He's also a poppin' rapper. He made it out the hood. He's rich. He's taking care of you and the hood, right? And he puts you on in the rap game. Out of anybody, he puts you all on, his family on, in the rap game. Would you stop spinning if something bad happened? No way in the world, man. So that kind of answers the questions of why people would be spending 2.5, almost 3 years later for young Dolph. That wound is not going to be easily healed. It's just not, man, because you had family on top of the fact that, this person was providing for everybody, taking care of a whole side of a city. So it's a lot going on there. And that's not to say that PRE is responsible for what happened. There's a lot of speculation out there. I haven't seen anything for fact. I've seen some things behind the scenes, but man, the public opinion is Big Jook lost his life, but in retaliation to young Dolph losing his life. And I mean, people are pretty much stuck on that. But with that, there's a lot of new developments and things going on in the Big Jook case, man. Like with the young Dolph case, they went to work to solve it. Remember, it was pictures of the car came out first, the shooters then, and a lot of internet sleuths, including the police department, were out there on the hills trying to figure things out. To be honest, the internet and the people in the blogs, I was blogging at the time, man, they cracked that early. You know what I mean? Before you even seen a headline, names were already out there. Straight Drop's name was already out there. And I think it might be one and the same here, unless these guys did something that Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith didn't do. And that's cover their tracks. So, man, what I want to do is I want to check out this news story from the Yahoo News where they talk about some of the new developments and the car that was actually found at the scene of the crime, or actually the car that was traced leaving the scene of the crime that they believe is involved. So let's check this out. Okay, so let's look at this story right here. So it says Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, shot and killed in Memphis. Here's everything we know. Now, it goes on to say this. It says Memphis rapper Yo Gotti's brother, Anthony Big Jook Mims, was killed in a shooting Saturday, Memphis Police Department confirmed Sunday. Now, when there was an original shooting or whatever, when the shooting took place, I should say, everybody was trying to figure out, was this connected to the young Dolph situation? What was going on with this situation? And was this anybody related to any rapper in the city? Because it's been a lot going on, man. According to the rumor mill, young Dolph's people been out here spinning on spinning on spinning.
They spinning! They spinning! They spinning!
I'm talking about like really sliding for young Dolph at a level that we have yet to see in hip hop. I'm talking about plus 10 different people that are coming up connected to this. You've got your CEO Tizzy that's connected to this allegedly. You've got Black Youngster's brother who's allegedly connected to this. You've got Big Jook who's allegedly connected to the young Dolph situation. And all these different people, not to mention out of state, you have Lotta Desto and people like that. So everybody is just puzzled. Even me, I'll even say me, man. I'm even puzzled at the fact that, yo, it's all this spinning going on, man. And it's not the fact that I'm surprised that they spinning for Dolph, because like I said before, it makes sense why they would be spinning for Dolph. But on the other hand, it's rare you see rappers live up to what they profess in their raps. You know what I'm saying? Now, the story continues by saying this. It says, according to the MPD Facebook post, an officer was in the area of 6385 Winchester Road around 4:15 p.m. Saturday when he heard multiple gunshots. The officer went to the location and found 2 victims with multiple gunshot wounds. Both were transported to the hospital. Mims, 47 years old, was identified as the victim, who was pronounced deceased at the hospital. The second male victim was in stable condition Sunday, police said. Now, I'm wondering who that second victim was, the second person who's being outlined in this case. You know what I mean? Because they probably have some key details about what went down and who was involved in this shooting. Now, the story continues by saying this. It says that during a press conference Saturday evening, Deputy Chief Paul Wright said police were analyzing video but did not have a suspect identified at the time. He said it was also not clear if there were multiple shooters. That's where the other person who was shot, that's actually in stable condition now, will probably, he'll be able to provide some information. Unless he's stuck on that no snitching code or he's really a street dude, then you might not get any answers from him. But on most chances, in most cases, in this situation where the person is clearly the victim, man, they be talking. You know what I'm saying? They usually say something about the situation. You'll hear it from a secondhand party or something like that. Now, in quotes, it says, we do feel the individual that was shot was possibly targeted by the suspect Wright. Now, in these pictures, you can see the vehicle that they believe was involved in this shooting. Now, if you look, it looks like a Ford Explorer or whatnot. And to be honest, when I first saw the pictures of these vehicles, they look like police vehicles to me. They look like they're, they have the blacked out windows, then they have the subdued everything. It looks like somebody undercover, like the undercover or narco cars and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But man, it looks like they went through all this trouble to get this vehicle prepared for this shooting. Goes to show the strength of Dolph's people, or not even the strength. And I hate putting it on Dolph when it hasn't been confirmed or whatever. But this is to say that, man, these dudes were patient. Whoever did this, they waited, they were patient. They made sure they got a vehicle that was blacked out. They made sure it didn't have any sort of license plate or anything on there. And I want to make sure, yeah, that's the picture I want y'all to see right there. They took the license plate off of the car. So, I mean, you see a car ride with no license plate, you think, okay, that's strange. You don't look twice. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. Maybe the dealer plate flew off or something like that, right? Only risk they have is getting stopped by police, but this was all in preparation for what took place. So back to what the deputy chief said, it seems like this was a targeted event and that Big Jook was targeted by these shooters in this situation. Now, the story also says this. It says, he said the 2 men who were shot had been attending a repast following a funeral service. So the repast being where people meet up after a funeral service, to, kind of say they whatevers to everybody in the family and their final goodbyes, you know what I mean, to the person who passed away, right? This is a weird opportunity that somebody took to shoot somebody at a repast, man. You really, really, really got to want somebody gone. And that's why everybody is kind of equating this to the Dolph situation, because who else and what other situation would it be this? You know what I mean? Now, it also says that on Sunday, police said a witness on the scene said suspects in a white SUV were responsible for the shooting. The vehicle is a white Ford Explorer with black wheels, dark tinted windows, and images of it were captured on surveillance video. Like any cameras or whatever in the city, they're going to capture a vehicle, man. It's always going to be cameras, always going to be video footage. It's just, that's the time that we live in now, man. There's cameras everywhere. So you kind of could have bet that, the images of the vehicle would come out. But man, this still doesn't give you much. I mean, if they're still hanging on to this vehicle or have this vehicle posted on social media or anything like that, that would be a bad look. But if you're going just off of this and this only, and maybe that car is somewhere else, Man, it might be a long investigation, but the way technology is working these days, cats get caught. Now it says no arrests have been made and the investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information about the shooting is asked to call Crime Stoppers, and they provided the number there. Now they went on to add some additional information. They said CMG artists react to Big Jook's death. Several artists on Yo Gotti's CMG label, which his brother was involved with, took to social media following the news of Anthony Mims' death. On Instagram, superstar CMG rapper Glorilla posted a photo of herself at the 2023 Grammy Awards with Yo Gotti, Big Jook, with the caption, "Get your rest," with a crying emoji. Letting it be known that, Glorilla is well liked throughout hip hop, and she understands that, she ain't involved in none of this. It's just a sad situation for somebody that she had been working with, and she probably had a decent relationship with him on the business end. Now, another CMG rapper, Big Boogie, posted a photo of himself with his head bowed, referencing Big Jook with the words "Forever Love You." Big Boogie also posted a series of Instagram stories with photos and videos of Big Jook with similar messages. Louisville rapper ESTG, a fellow CMG artist, posted a photo of himself and Big Jook praising him. "Keep it real with me, I could never forget, wrote G." Big Jook's own Instagram account still had its most recent posts up from Friday. A photo of Mims is accompanied by what is, in hindsight, an ominous sounding caption. This is what he said in the caption, in quotes. It says, "They don't want to face you, they want to snake you. Stay alert to stay alive. Watch your back at all times." Now, it looks like he had already prophesied that somebody was coming, and looking for him. So, and he posted that on his social media. What's crazy is, man, you see all throughout all the CMG artists page, especially like Black Youngster, Yo Gotti, Big Jook, a whole bunch of Dolph emojis, and people really putting on for Dolph, man. I don't think, I talked to an artist before about this, and he put it out there in a good way. I don't think people really weighed the ramifications of what would happen if something like young Dolph losing his life in a broad daylight, brazen shooting like it did, something that people were obviously never going to get over, and just rubbed everybody in the hip hop, world the wrong way. And it seems like we're seeing the after effects of that each and every day as this story continues and as these things go on, right? All right, now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this situation in the comments. And with that, we out of here. Oh yeah, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.